Oh boy, they added asphalt to the game, ruining all of our plans. Welcome back to Satisfactory, I'm Dan. Today, we've got to get our encased industrial beams done, which doesn't sound like a lot of work, because we did so much for the steel pipes, but we have to do 200 concrete per minute. We have to pull in a 600 limestone. Not exactly the easy task with Mark III belts. So after we get that done, we're also going to set up a bunch of truck stations to get everything out of here. But we have a problem. They added asphalt to the game, and it makes the road look so good. It got rid of the arrows, but it created a huge problem. And that is the underside. You can't color the bottom of the asphalt. It's black, which changed everything. Yeah, my legs are okay. So we now have the black underside, but we have a concrete barriers. This is what we had before. But the color dynamic is just not the same as it was before. It's not bad. It's not bad, but it's just different than what it was before. And the same here. It just changed everything about this design. So I'm not sure I actually like it anymore with the asphalt. So our option is keep the asphalt and go through and change our designs. This one was the most popular. This was obviously the second most popular, although it kind of starting to look better than this one. But there's so many options. The colored one, I actually went through and did all of it before they did asphalt, but then now they changed it. So we might have to reconsider our plans, or we go back to concrete and it'll look good. That said, we got lots to get done. We got to get started. All right, and here we are at our concrete factory for our encased industrial beams. We are right next to our steel factory because we're going to do beams over here, at least my current plan. You never know where it evolves. We needed about 14 constructors, about 13 and one running at a third of it to get the 200 concrete we'd need. So I was playing around with this between the episodes before I started recording, trying to figure out how I wanted to design it. I wanted to add some more angles into this design, even though we're still next to our blocky steel factory. I wanted to at least put some more angles into it. So I was trying to work on the beams. I'm going to get run over by Sugar Cube here. It took me a while to playing around trying to find a good way that I like to do this, because with large enough blocks, not a problem, but it clips through the floor you're trying to go into a lot. So unless you get it like perfect, it's really hard to make it look good. There's ways to mask it, but I was doing such a small angle that it was difficult until I found a good way to do it that worked. So I'm going to demonstrate it so you can see what I did. These were hard to do. I was trying to use the walls first, the angled walls. I was trying to use these, but I couldn't find the right angle and then I was playing around with beams, and then I discovered that you can literally attach the pillars to the beams. So I switched it to freeform because diagonal was broken. They patched it between what I was working in now, but I was using freeform, but you can use diagonal. This is what I did. I clicked it here, and then you can attach the pillar to the end of the beam, which also has cool implications. So I would just put it down like that, and then I would delete the beam, delete the one sticking through, and then the beam comes through, and I hiding behind the floor. And then just to clean it up, I was putting a lip on everything, and then I added this. It's not perfect in this case, but it kind of does, for the most part, mask and clean it up, and it looks like it's actually doing something. Now, another interesting way to use these beams, just for a quick show, is that you can also rotate the beams, which I didn't know. So doing the same thing here, I can now roll the mouse button, and I can rotate the beam. And this is great because the pillars will rotate with the beam. You can go a little further in the ground, but you can see what I mean. So you can even have some very interesting designs instead of just the straight up pillars. You could go this rotation, really cool. And so that's how I did that, and I just repeated that process down here. I was basically not wanting to run the foundation over the cliff, because then I would have just done something on the edge of the cliff, but I needed extra space for the constructors, and this level I built to bring the pancakes under. If I go any further here, it clips into the ground, but it doesn't clip all the way down there. So I was like, well, it's perfect here, but I need one more. And so this was just a creative way, add some angles. I could still do more pillars on this side and get more space, but it's not going to be seen as much. I was originally making this the pancake floor, and I had this wall, but then I realized I needed the constructor holes, and it doesn't work with this wall and the pillars. So I did add a 1-layer pancake floor here between. But we're going to be bringing all the concrete here. We have a pure limestone node here. There are lots of limestone nodes in this area. I'm going to actually bring 2 of them up here into here because we need 600 and we only have 270 belts right now. But later in the game, when we have a Mark V belt and Mark III miners, we could just limit it to just this baby. So let's start belting up the constructors using the pancake floor, and we can move on. All of these constructors are done. They're all set to concrete, but we're going to adjust these last two. Since we're making 200 concrete, we actually need one constructor running at like 33% or reducing 5 per minute just to make it at the 200. But to make sure that both sides are even, we're going to set both sides of these last ones to 10. And that'll give us the same desired result, and everything on both belt sides will be just running evenly. So let's go below and belt up the lower side. And we'll go up this way. Not sure what we're gonna do yet. The last thing we need to do is input. So we're probably gonna come in. We can come in from either side. We can come from the below, use a floor hole and come in. We'll probably have the splitters over here. So we can either come in here, although we're gonna maybe go out there, but it won't hurt because we'll go out above. We can come in either way and just split it down the line. Nothing's gonna cross. Everything can be done almost. Well, actually, you know, this floor is blocked by a wall. There is actually a wall there. So doing it over here is not happening, which is why I added this pancake floor. So we'll probably come up right here. I think I built a frame to bring the limestone up there. We're gonna have other limestone come up over there, and we'll bring it around, and we can just come up right here and maybe split it. Well, we got 3 belts, so we're gonna have to do, let me see if I can come up with something. All right, here's what I came up with. Obviously, this is gonna depend on how we built it downstairs, but this part is before the wall. So I brought up 2 lifts. I should probably change this one to a Mark III. So we're gonna have 1 lift bringing up 240. So we'll have 1 limestone node bring 240 out. It's gonna be a pier with a Mark II, it'll work. So we'll just direct 240 up 1, and we're gonna probably have our 3rd limestone node bring in 120. So we'll have 2 240s and 1 120. We need an additional 60, so we'll split it below and bring it up on a Mark I belt, Mark I, so limited to 60. So 240 plus 60, 300. So we'll go down about 4, which will pull out about 180 out of this line. And so we add a middle merger here and just merge our 60 on, and it'll be more than enough. It will be enough to finish off the rest of the needs for this line. With this one is running at 66%, only needing 30. So that will be 300 on this side, and we'll just repeat this on the other side. All right, here's our Mark III belt coming in. And then we're gonna take our Mark I. Oh, we need to actually add a merger right here, going down the line. Add in Mark III belt on either side. And the Mark II belt, or Mark I belt, we're coming down all the way until we just about run back to. That's supposed to be Mark I. We'll go ahead and delete these. Already got it, just reduce the item limit because I don't know where we're gonna be when we get to later episodes. And that should do it. Now we just need to go below and figure out how we're going to belt everything up. Oh, okay, minor change. We'll fix it in a second. Okay, that's all fixed. Now, we have 4 lifts in a very tight spot. This probably won't be a floor, so we're gonna have a wall here. So we have very little room, so we're gonna have to stagger these. We gotta remember this is the Mark III, so we'll probably bring down Mark III like this, and the Mark Is, you know, maybe something like this. All right, so what we want is we want 240, and we're gonna bring in 240 and 240. I'm gonna go hunt down our limestone nodes. And done. At least we got the bus. Let's bring some power up here. Where's our power line running back here? We didn't actually bring it down. We bring it to there. Could I do it to here without issue? We can go to here. I'm just gonna stand here and wait for the limestone. And there is our first limestone. And there's our second limestone. 360. Fail. Hopefully that clip will not see the light of day. But if for some reason you see that clip in the video on YouTube, you'll know that I did a bad job editing. Okay, let's go on. That should make it all the way there. We can remove these. Perfect. Why haven't I gotten the wall one? I could just attach it to the wall and make it look good. This one's just gonna go there. Power that up. Alrighty. That one's belted up. I've got a power line I need to plug in up there. Now comes the part where we're gonna go ahead and just block this off like this. We could do something here. I mean, we could repeat our process from over there and do some pillar work. Not a bad idea. Too bad. It adds some depth to it. It adds something to the backside, even though we're never going to look at this again. No complaints. I think we need another one of these. Yeah, we're good. Except for this. No, that works. We are good. We are good. We could also have done it center. Could have maybe gotten away with that. I haven't done the edges, but we didn't do the edge on that side, so I don't know. Gonna put walls here for now. We could totally get away with this if we wanted to. I assume what I'm gonna want is a standard wall like that. Probably want something to walk in, right? We need something else. We need to be able to walk in and like mean it. Oh, don't sit down as much. You could totally get away with just going just over the belts. How cool is that? Come on, here we go. Well, just one. Default, there we go. Yes, perfect. Perfect. All right, so we have that wall there, and then we can have a center door right here. Everybody's happy. Oh, look, almost everybody. Okay, there we go. Look at that, right over. Red Rover, send the limestone over. I want to do what I did over here. So we did something like this, and then something like this. Totally legit. Totally legit. Right, other than the dumb ramp, let's see how we did. Let's take a look at our kind of finished product. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. It's not too bad. Not too bad. It's not the greatest. It's a tiny little concrete thing, but I kind of like it. Hey, Sugar Cube. You keep doing that coal stuff. It's cool. It's not too bad. I like the little elements over here. And it still kind of matches our style from this area. Obviously, we're going to do some more stuff different over there, but this is all part of one, so you don't necessarily need to do it here, do I? If we go on top, see if we can repeat that style. Now, the only downside is that this does not quite match up without an additional one. But maybe we don't need to. Maybe we don't need to. Maybe we can put a roof on this thing, and that 1 meter won't make the difference. What roof do you guys think I should use in architecture? I think we'll start with orange and just see what it looks like. I don't think we need to go 4 meter. I think we'll just do the 2 meter. We're not going to stick out, so we're just going to start here. Can we go zooping the other way? No, we're just going to have to get up there and do this by hand. We have 5, so I need to have better options to get up. And by 5 I meant we have 5 foundations wide. So if we do it, there we go. We do 2, and then the flat. Maybe we'll put the glass there instead, and then we'll do the. Why doesn't that attach? What is so wrong with this matching up? All right, we'll just do this now. See, was that hard? I don't think so. We can probably switch this one to glass. Yeah, why not? Maybe we should do. Oh, darn it. Yeah, we should do it like this. And there. Now we can switch to glass. There we go. And now we will happily run these down. This is probably going to look terrible. You know what we can do? We can do what they did in the trailer. We can throw some beams up here and put our power on there. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to mimic their teaser for this little mini factory here. Not completely, but just the beams. Let's put a beam. Let's use the beams here. So we'll use the metal ones. We'll go from the wall all the way to the. Can we get all the way? Yes, 5 foundations. All right. Hopefully this is gonna look good. They did it from the middle, didn't they? They used the beam connect. Should we do that? Should we do what they did in the trailer? Because, you know, we have original ideas here. Ideals. And we're doing middle foundation, or foundation seam. Okay, perfect. I don't know what we're doing on the corners. I feel like I want to put walls in between. We can always turn it into a window. This works though, still high enough. Do maybe here, go down the line. I want to add funny commentary, but you know, we're doing concrete. I mean, how funny does it get? Other than we're sitting here watching me do concrete, you know, the hilarity. Watch, I'm going to take like 4 hours of footage doing this, and then I'll cut it down to like 2 minutes of stuff. Now, if we were going to add lights, we can use the same thing I did in the coal logistics receiving areas. We just need to find the snap point here. Boom, like that. And then we can just go all the way down like this. We can add the lights. We can remove these after we add the lights if you like, but you know, you can leave it like this. All right, time to finish wiring this up. I have finished the concrete, wired it up. Haven't started it yet, but we made some changes, and there's a good reason why. The diagonal pillars right here looked great when I first did them. I liked the idea, but then when I didn't do the other side, it was just this huge off balance. And then also, as I built it, I kind of thought it was looking like a box, and I was like, I didn't want to do a box. So I changed it up and added some pillars. I got this interesting little design. I did some mid pillars just kind of going up to the top. I used the single bar rows and I just painted it across. I did change the foundation colors to the concrete I used to have the highway at. I don't know how I liked it, but it matches the pillars. I was like, yeah, it's nice. So the same box is there. I just basically added depth, but I did remove the diagonals, but that's okay. This build doesn't have a lot of diagonals in it. This steel factory build, and this is still kind of part of it, so I was okay. I wanted to do diagonals, but you know, it's how it is. But I did try to keep in some of the ideas where I had the glass. I moved it out one more than it was. This gave me some extra room in here, and I made sure I raised the belts up off the floor, and I just made this, at least on this side, very open. This side I kind of closed off. Added a couple signs with the basic idea of what's going on in here. Little dumb concrete quote. And so that was pretty much it. The inside hasn't really changed at all. It's all the same, except for the door. It doesn't work because whenever you load in. Anyways, yeah, beams up top, everything's powered. I put these in for lights as we talked earlier. Haven't put lights on, but I'll do that later. Now, before we turn this on, we have to do something, and that is go remove the sinks from the steel factory. They've been running for hours. I did discover 2 problems, and that was one being that the 3 iron miners, one of them was sending the 240 line to the wrong set of smelters, and that was causing a whole chain of issues. Once I corrected that, I discovered that my foundries, the way I was splitting the 2 larger lines, they had one at the very end running at 75%, and then when I was splitting everything and I had to merge a little bit onto them to get the 210 that it needed, each one 210, I had calculated my splitting and merger as if that 75% was split over all 7 of them. So I calculated 2 sides of it wrong. Once I corrected that, it was very easy to fix up. Everything's been running great now, and this is why you should test your factories. So everything's running at 100%. This was the problem line at the end, was the pipes and this one. But as you can see, there's a bug here when you load in, it's 99%. But as you can see, 100 here, 99%, yeah. Sometimes it sits at 100. I don't know why it says 99 sometimes. But everything's running, everything's working. Everything's at 99%. I'm guessing that's just some kind of bug. Anyways, so I'm satisfied. Everything seems to be working. All the kinks are worked out. So test your factories, especially when you go big and you need to make sure you run them at max capacity. So I'm gonna take down the sinks. We're gonna put one over there for the concrete factory to let it run while we do the encased industrial beams. So I will get this cleared out and see you back over there in a minute. Now that we're over here, we're gonna set up a sink. We're gonna at least let it run. This is a much more simple factory. I'm not too worried about it, but just for good text, it's just a good concept and good practice to test your builds. I think we can also yank off this power line. So I don't really know how we're gonna get the power over here, but we're just gonna keep on yanking from this power line that I set up early on before this whole factory was built. We'll clean it up later. So we're just gonna plug this in, and this should power everything. And with that going, we can turn our attention to our encased industrial beams. Now, overall, what we're gonna do is pretty simple. We only need 10 assemblers running encased industrial pipes alternative recipe. That's gonna give us 40 encased industrial beams per minute, which is plenty for now, where some of it's gonna be used later if you've paid attention to the signs. This is only gonna do 200 a minute, so it won't completely fill up this belt, but as long as those are all gonna be running at 100%, we'll be pretty happy. I think I did split the total amount required. We needed 13.33 constructors, meaning 14 with one running at 33%, but I think of these last two I set at 66, so it kind of split that amount between the two lines, so everything just evens out. We have one 120 line coming in. It's on Mark III belt, but it gets split here and it goes to the 60 and 60 we talked about. And then we have 240 coming in here and 240 coming in here, going up. But we're gonna let this run and on to our encased industrial beams. So instead of trying to design something off the bat here, we're gonna go the reverse order. We're gonna use platforms. I was kind of playing around there, too low. We need to come up a little bit, but we're just gonna lay out the platform. We're gonna try to build it. We're gonna use a pancake floor, 2 layers, kind of like the foundries. So we'll lay out the platform, try to get everything together. We might have to use 2 floors, or we could do a tower if we really wanted to. That becomes interesting. And we'll get it working, and then we'll try to design. We'll try to integrate it with the factory here. Somehow we'll integrate it if we can, and make it look like one. So part of this wall can come down, and maybe we can integrate. This kind of works. Not sure if we need these 4-meter ones. Gonna have to cut that down. That won't interfere. That's perfect. Okay. All right, let's go up. Let's just test and see how much room we have. So we're gonna put maybe assembler here. I kind of want it to face this way, and we'll have the stuff coming through the pancake floor to the back. Let's start it here just for funsies. We can go back 1. Yeah, this works. All right, so let's see how many we need. We need 10. 2, 3, 4. That was not 4. It was, okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, it'll make it simple and we can move on. We've already done a lot for this factory, so I kind of want some simplicity in my life. This works, and then we don't have to be touching that. We could tear off some of this, and then just have some sort of way for this, the bus over here, maybe using the frame foundation, the frame pillars, to maybe somehow give a one across all the way to here. This works out well because it can come. Yeah, okay. Let's do this. Let's do this. I think this is gonna work. Let's just raise up a floor, make this a pancake floor. I'm not sure for decoration how we're gonna deal with these 4-meter foundations. We'll see what we're gonna do. But that works. And that also gives us a walk space. So here, doesn't give us much walk space here, but we can solve that. We can do another one if we need. Let's just go up 2 levels. So that way our pancake level is here. And we zoop. Now, if you're thinking that I should just kibitz boot this, yeah, we're not doing that. We learned that lesson. Do not get a knockoff boop button. Doesn't work. Very dangerous. One back. Could do it here. All right, let's see where our floor holes will live. Back here seems obvious. It's not too bad. I learned that this does rotate, so I wonder if that was facing that way. The rotation on these things is weird. I wonder if I rotated one this way, will it? No, I rotated it once and it's like the opposite direction. Let me try it again. All right, so rotate once. This. Oh, I think it's just there to torment you. I think this will work. Yeah, okay, that works there. What about here? We could do it here, but I think we might be able to do it here. No, not too far. It's okay. Assembler's a weird size. Perfect. This will work. So we're just gonna have to repeat this 9 more times. All right, 9 more assemblers incoming. You know, when we do a wall, I think we'll go 4 up just to give this more height. Just so it's not the same height as that. Some extra ceiling space, but I think it'll look good. All right, pancake floor. Yay! All right, we have to consider where stuff's coming in. We have concrete coming in right there, straight down the center. And maybe I'd want to move these things. Oh no. Oh, maybe not. Would that be perfect? Could this just be magical? Will that just work? Oh, right down the middle. We can literally go right there. Oh, look at that. Rightly lined up. At least I hope that's lined up. I think that is. Right out of the floor hole. Same level. So perfect. It was meant to be. Meant to be. So gorgeous. Cool. So we'll just repeat this one. Now we have to bring in the steel, but we're not going to get such an even thing from the end. It's kind of hard to come in past this there. Let's put the wall right there. Look at that. Straight across. And I think we should be able to do this without interfering. Perfect. Glorious. Now we just got to go down the line. Okay, we now have our direct line for concrete, our steel pipes, and now we just need to do our mergers. Now, I'm not 100% sure where our mergers are going to go. Let's go over there and see if we can set up a merger line. Can we slide through this? Yay! Oh, we have a merger line, but it's merging this way. And we don't want that. I mean, I could belt it all the way over there. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's going to do half of it. That's one row is going to cover half of it. So we're going to need to do... I was going to have a brain fart. I feel like we had Mark 5 belts. Or actually 280, right? So Mark 4 belts would have worked fine. We don't have that. We have 270s. So this is the 5th one, and it's not going to match up. But this is the 6th one. We only have... The only difference is 10. So by here... Yeah, we could do... All right, so what I think we're going to do... You see, I cut that hole there. We're going to try to do it midsection, and then we'll... you can't run. This is where that tree is clipping in, but I don't delete it because it looks cool on the outside. So we can do this. And we can bring it straight across and just bring it over the right in there, but we can still bring it down the middle. All right. 1, 2. Perfect. Let's go check our instructors. See a red. I hope that's just, it hasn't updated. That's why you test. Oh, I didn't power it on. Okay. Everything else? Okay. 100%. 100% on this side. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that other one's working for now. Okay, let's see if we can hop onto the power poles. Goods are coming in. We got plenty of headroom. I need to set up a sink. Well, actually, this will come out to here. Okay. Let's just do this. There's a power pole here. Okay. I know we should probably save a few for ourselves, but all right, I'm gonna let that run for a little while. I'm gonna ponder some design ideas, and then we're gonna enclose this thing up and fix the power cords, because that's not what we're gonna do. So I'll see you back. Okay, the Encased Industrial Beam factory is all done. Let's have a closer look. We're gonna have a little fun with it. Now that we've finished all this, I know it's still a bit of a block, but you know what? It keeps kind of the theme that we have going here for this whole steel fail. This whole steel factory. Apparently I cannot aim for a ladder when jumping. I tried using slightly different materials this time. I went for the metal just to kind of distinguish it from the concrete. I actually painted the concrete on this one a little bit more to concrete color, or for the, you know, the concrete item. You can't really see it from here, but this side you can. And then for this one, I just went a little different. Since we didn't have the cliff, I kind of just used some metal beams to give it distinguish. And I just wanted to try to use the metal walls. You know, I think it turned out pretty good. It's all right. You know, it's still a bit of a box, but you know what? It's a small factory. We'll do some more angles on our next project. We'll see how that comes along. But now we have one more thing that we need to get done today, and that is setting up truck stations to get everything out of here. And that is the beams, the pipes, and the encased industrial beams. And maybe a fourth station for coal, because I brought some extra coal in from our truck stations. Originally we had that one empty line. I decided to bring a little extra coal in so we could fuel all of the truck stations here, so that any vehicle that comes in to pick stuff up can get fuel from here. I can also set up a fourth station that has some extra coal to fuel something I might have off in the distance, but I don't think we're going to be too far off from using packaged fuel, so I don't think it'll be necessarily a need to set up a fourth truck station, but it is available, and if we can at least consider it so we have some room for it, it'd be good. But we're going to set it up over there. We talked about it. We talked about it in the last couple episodes. I might have mentioned it. I was thinking over here in this area. This is just my leftovers from sinking all of the pipes. I had a couple of containers, and here I'm just sinking the encased industrial beams to test everything. Everything ran great, so I'll get rid of it soon. Although, interesting note, the 40 encased industrial beams is giving us more points than the entire steel factory did. All of the beams and all of the pipes. Now, granted, we're using, you know, almost half of the pipes and a bunch of concrete, but we are technically getting a little bit more points out of just those 40 beams than we were having 5 sinks, just sinking everything else. Interesting note, not that important. So what we need to do, I was thinking this would be a good area to set up the truck stations. I could do it on the ground, but I kind of think that we are going to want to elevate it kind of like the little road we have over here, because if we use trucks and tractors more in this playthrough, which, you know, we're going to use trains and we're going to use drones, but with as good as trucks are and as easy as they are to use now, I cannot speak, it is a pretty nice way to set up something simple that's not too difficult. So I could almost see, and I really loved that last shot on episode 7 when I was saying goodbye 3 times and failure to edit, like here, where the truck was just kind of slowly moving away on its own, and it just looks nice and smooth, like a car driving on the street. I think that really looks cool, and I'd love to have a few more streets around our factories that just have some vehicles moving around. I think it would just look really cool. You can even add a couple that just do routes and circles if you wanted to, just for funsies, but I think it'll look good. So what we could do is we can use the height of this, and we could do that over here. So we might have to make this a multi-level with a ramp. So what we need to do is play around, see if we can find a way to get 3, preferably maybe a 4th truck station in here. Okay, I've been playing around. You don't see much here, but that's okay. I was thinking there'd be a couple up here, and I had started down here. I had created a couple ramps, just playing around with the styling. I didn't really decorate the walls, I just threw them up to kind of get an idea. And this is kind of what I started with. Got like 2 down here, have them set up across from each other. You could easily have a car come down one side of the ramp and come over here and then go back up the other side. Same thing on the inside one. And you wouldn't cross, except for up there when they try to get back on the main road. And it works. I mean, with some decoration and some other stuff, it would work. But for some reason, I don't like it. I think it's too complicated. You try to do the ones up above, and you're like, there's different pathways in, and it totally works. I mean, we could get away with it with some decorations of different kinds. I'm not really sure, but it's something about it in these rocks. I feel so constrained with these rocks here. I don't really like it. I think what I want to do is erase this and actually have a more flat platform. And I would actually I think I'm going to try to put all of the truck stations near each other. Okay, so I've cleared all that out, and I cleared out the underspot, so it's all gone. Nothing gone here. I extended out our platform a little bit, and I kind of set up my basic idea design. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm doing here, but I was trying to just think, oh yeah, I'm going to come in from a 3-lane road, maybe like this would be a 3-lane road out here or something like that. Well, not really 3-lane, but more like the center line here. That way it's a larger road for trucks or whatever, and then kind of narrows down to this. So I was thinking I would bring a barrier in here to say, yeah, you got to narrow down. Anyways, so I put the road on this side, and my idea was the cars would come in here, the trucks or tractors would come down here, and they would turn here. The tractors are really good. They can narrow. And then the ones that didn't need to stop at the first station, which I kind of placed out a spot for it, kind of like I was doing downstairs, they could just drive along this way until they kind of got to their station, and they could go in and park, stop. They would intersect, and this gives you enough room for them to kind of come in slowly and then turn out this way and keep on going. I think as long as their recorded path does not intersect an actual truck station, then even if their node kind of causes them to clip it, I don't think they'll actually pick up any items. So we're going to set down the truck stations, and what I'm thinking is we're going to do like an overhang or something, not like, because originally I was thinking I would just enclose this whole thing like I did the Encased Industrial Beam and concrete factories. But now I kind of want something a little different. I want to I think an overhang would work. Good. This is pretty good. Let's take a look from over here. Yeah, I like this. Not too bad. Okay. Well, we are now done with our truck station. I added some lights in this little front bar thing. I've done a little bit of belt work, but it's not complete yet. I will finish it up between episodes. We're just going to have, steel pipes, beams, encased industrial beams, and coal. We don't have any roads to go anywhere yet, but that is for future projects. We are now done with this area. We've finished everything we came here to do. So our entire steel project area is finished. We've done 620 steel pipes, 60 steel beams, 40 encased industrial beams, and we've set up truck stations to get everything out of here. Where next we need to make sure we're getting stators made, motors. We also need to go back to our hub, and we got to make some upgrades. We got to make like 20 or so modular frames, 20 or so rotors, some reinforced iron plates to go with that. It's not a huge project as this one was. It needs about 400 iron, maybe about 200 copper. Makes a lot, but actually it's not as complicated as this one. So might do that one next, or we might consider just pushing on to tier 5 and 6 so we can get access to Mark IV belts. We do have those computers and heavy modular frames waiting for that unlock. So we will decide on that, and between the episodes, I'll belt everything up. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to see you next time.